Afternoon, everybody. Okay, so I am joined today with Aaron from Evermorph Studios, but I want to get something out of the way first. In my last video, and I got a slight complaint in the comments that it took me about a full 2 minutes to get into the video about the Evermorph Cube before I actually showed it moving. So I wanted to start this video off showing it moving. Okay. And I also want to state that I used to have neat toys on my desktop. This was my go-to. It's just a little golf ball D100. The Evermorph Cube has swiftly taken over its spot in me having something to fidget with. Here we go. While I'm playing around on my computer. That all out of the way, I want to thank Aaron for joining me today and welcome you to the show.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me. Thanks for setting this up.
So the burning question that I have, I will assume that you have been a D&D player of role-playing games in the past, yes?
Yes, sir. Since probably like the late 80s, I'd say.
So you're old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys did like the marathon dungeon delves and the hack and slash sessions.
Yeah, we did a lot of that. Actually, I don't know if you want to go into it already, but yeah, probably the first role-playing game that we really played an awful lot was Powers and Perils, which was an Avalon Hill game. And that's those, we still talk about some of our adventures, me and my brother and some of my friends way back then.
What was the key inspiration for putting this together?
Yep. So largely, like I say, I've been playing role-playing games since I was a little kid, and my brother was our game master all the time because he's great with rules and things like that. Once I started to have my own kids, we started playing with some real light rules when they were pretty young. And we always do sandbox, campaigns where there's really no telling where the campaign is going to go. And, despite my best efforts, planning ahead is not really going to mean much. But so I used a lot of, geomorphic tiles during those campaigns. And at the same time, I'm a cuber and a speed cuber, just seeing how quick you can solve a Rubik's Cube. And those two things kind of came together. Most of my kids are grown and out of the house now, but the boy that helped me or worked with me, my partner, I guess you could say, on this was actually in high school now. So we're getting pretty close to being empty nesters, but we're still playing.
We're facing that ourselves. Yeah. It's something I'm not prepared for yet, but it's a part of life.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too far into it, you approached me with kind of a surprise for everybody. I think you've already posted this over on your Kickstarter, but go ahead and spill the surprise for everyone.
Yeah, sure. So we are having a giveaway during the stream. So what we've done is we've set up a form over on our website.
I'll go ahead and post the link to that in the chat, and I'll also post the link to it in the description. Now,
okay.
I do want to get this out of the way that this is only going to be available for the duration of this while we're doing the live, because you intend to actually give these away today.
Yes. Yep. During the stream, we'll quit taking responses, and then we'll randomly draw.
Okay.
We're going to draw 3 cubes, and we'll ship them out. As soon as I get your the physical addresses of the 3 winners, and so next week we'll ship them out.
And for those of you that are watching, I'll also post that link in the description of this video. Okay. So run over there, check it out. Basically, it will take you over to share our screen here. It'll take you over to the Evermorph website, and Aaron's taking care of all of that there. But if you hit up that link, that'll take you over there. you can sign up for that.
Yeah,
And that's very gracious of you.
yeah. One quick thing: if it does take you straight there, it should take you to
No, yeah.
slash. Okay, okay.
This is actually
Slash
this is
table
what it should look like
contents.
for you. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
And we're just asking for the email so I can get your physical address and then a handle so that I can announce your name.
Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of while we're on the website, I mean, it's a great segue into it. Uh, I want to explain to everyone, or I'll let you explain to everyone exactly what is the Evermorph cube.
Yep. So the basically it's a puzzle cube. So a Rubik's cube, if you want the name brand of it, with geomorphic tiles basically printed on it.
Mhm.
And Brian, your review was so much better than anything I could do. But you basically scramble it, and it's a random dungeon generator.
And go ahead and scramble them. I mean, you're a speed cuber, so go ahead and scramble them. And guys, you can see this is what impresses me so much about it. I mean, I was already impressed with it when I held it, but seeing how quickly, I mean, I can't do it like that. I can't flick them and move them, but you see how quickly he's able to move these, and they don't stick. They're very seamless in how they do move. And
Mhm.
to me, that's impressive. I've had several Rubik's cubes where, I try to move it and it locks, it gets jammed on another piece. I like the smooth mechanics of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was really impressed and surprised by the quality of these.
Mhm.
We got samples from 3 different suppliers, and this was the best quality. I mean, it's I won't get into too much detail, but it's for folks that like to adjust their cube, it can be adjusted on all 6 sides.
So
The
you can make it looser or tighter if you want to.
Yep, yeah. The It's not stickered. It's got the UV UV hardened resin on the surface.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you noticed, Brian, but it does have a little bit of texture to it. But
It does, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like braille or anything. But
Right.
I feel like it feels pretty good in your hand. Um, but super hard. I've tested several things on this, including Sharpies and trying to wipe stuff off with alcohol wipes and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
this is really durable. So
Yeah, I mean, you have to almost wanna purposely destroy it to, uh uh, to see any kind of havoc, to wreak any kind of havoc with it.
I
Um,
think so.
I mean, I guess you could always just get so pissed off that you just slam it on the floor or something, and yeah, you might. I mean, it is plastic, so I mean, you might see it shatter, but short of that, I mean, you're going to have to purposely want to destroy it to do any damage to it. Um, and then, like I pointed out in the video, the review of it, I love that each of the tiles is numbered and lettered, or lettered and numbered. That lends it to being a puzzle cube that you can solve. Uh, I think with the absence of those, yeah, I'd never get it back to its original positions.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. I well, when we were originally designing it, I didn't think anybody would want to solve it because it's always solved in a sense, right? I mean, it's
Right.
always
Yeah, yeah, it's
uh,
always solved. Yeah,
um, but so many people um, were wanting to solve it. But those letters do, to your point, make it possible. It is a little bit more time consuming than if it was colored or something like that. But
sure.
you just get all the A's on one side and all the B's on another. But I've solved it a handful of times, and it is time consuming. But when when I only had one, and I was making videos, early on, um, I was always trying to make sure I knew what I did in the video so I could get it back to
Right.
its I don't know why I wanted to start the video in its unscrambled state, but anyway, I messed up a number of times and had to solve it manually, which was like a pain in the
So
neck.
you have actually solved it manually then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd say maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I the best I could do is one surface, and then one level. Beyond
That's
that, no,
Well,
I
if you get
can't
that
do
much,
it.
you're almost there at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, almost. To be fair, I still have not been able to solve a Rubik's Cube either, so
It's it's one of those things where when you see people solving it in like teens of seconds or something like that,
yeah.
um, it's just a lot of memorization and muscle memory and just practice. For me, I don't try to get super fast, but I want it to still be enjoyable. So
So, one of the things that I'm kinda curious about, and I know that this is not, you haven't quit a day job or anything like that to devote to doing specifically this, albeit I think it is, it has been a good success, but how much like, one of the things that I've always been interested in is trying to do a Kickstarter. My problem is coming up with, like, what I'm going to do. Is I have so many ideas, but none of them I can't make any of them solid. But one of the burning questions that I have is how much, like, leading up to, okay, we're gonna put this on Kickstarter. Leading up to doing that, how much time has that all consumed?
it's a lot of time. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have seen the timestamp on my emails that
Yeah, I
go back
have, yeah.
go
2
back and
o'clock in the
run
morning. Yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah.
But the I'm kind of like you. There's always different ideas floating around in my head, and what's most of them you would never even think to try to sell or anything like that. It's something you want to just do for fun, kind of thing. And with this one, the thing that made this one a little different, at least for me, was the I felt like the idea was solid, but I also felt like I could keep the execution simple enough to where um, I don't have to quit my day job, and B,
Right.
I don't have to invest my life savings or anything. Um, so it is a simple project. I think, if we talk about where it goes next, we could expand quite a bit on not just this, but kind of the concept of having, physical tools. But so as far as the amount of time it takes, coming back to that, it's significant amount of time. The idea is, getting things done early. So,
Mhm.
um, planning ahead, testing everything. I mean, we've got so many prototypes from just pieces of paper taped together like a cube
Right, right.
um, to stickers that I cut out with an X-Acto knife to prototypes from manufacturers. So the whole process was, the better part of this past year.
It was involved, yeah. Yeah, so that's a good question too, like, how long ago did you guys sit down, like, with the first idea, like, from because, I mean, my understanding is you're gonna be shipping these out, like, the first batch of them. I mean, you funded all of this on your side already, and you've got the first batch of, like, what, 2,000 ready to go, by the end of, is it this
May.
month or next month?
End of May.
End of May, okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, with that in mind, I mean, like, how long ago did you guys initially sit down, like, and go, "Let's do this, and this is what we want to do"? Like, walk me kinda through that timeline, so to speak.
So I think so. I first started experimenting with like games on a cube.
Mhm.
Um, So like I've created a game that you can play that's kind of like you have like soldiers and you're trying to surround an enemy king, kind of thing. And that was probably the year before last. So to really get back to the genesis of thinking through different ways to use a cube, you probably have to go back a couple years. But for this, it's funny because we already had prototypes. We were already kind of messing around with the idea, and it was probably about 6 months ago, I guess. I decided, all right, let's do this, and you know, created created an LLC or whatever. Started reaching out to manufacturers that could do this well for us, and so all that up through, I don't even know when I posted my first YouTube video, but that was, several months up to the point where I first started reaching out to people. And I think that was probably, I think it's late last year where I first started posting in Reddit. I had a website up and started collecting email addresses for people that would be interested. That's one big thing about Kickstarters is you have to come with your audience.
Yeah.
So all this research that goes into it, I would say anybody that wants to do it, it's, there are people doing it. So I would just say, just go for it. Just make sure that you've got your plan lined out. You test and retest and just get all your timelines together, everything you need to do. But I'd be happy to talk to anybody about it in detail if they want to reach out to me. But so we set up basically a form on the website, started posting to Reddit, got a YouTube video out there, got like 60,000 views on it, which brought more people into the email list. And so by the time we launched, we had about 1,000 emails. And one quick thing on emails that I want to mention, if anybody ever does this, collecting an email list, you have to warm the list, or all your emails will end up going to junk mail.
Yeah.
So, and that's something, I could talk for hours about like learning experiences along the way. But when I first started testing, sending out like marketing emails to myself, they were showing up in junk folders. I was like, oh, that's not good. So, had to plan for that, had to get my family and friends to start receiving emails from me to kind of warm that, domain.
Kind of do the testing. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I have been the subject of trying to do some mass emailing like that in the past. And it's come back to bite me. It's like, oh man, I going a month into it, this email campaign, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to get so much traffic from it. Why am I not getting any traffic from it? Oh, crap. It's because
Yeah.
the email's not going anywhere. It's just
Oh,
it's automatically
yeah.
being killed. So I guess for me, it was about a month and a half ago. And I said this in my initial review video that it was 10:30 or so at night. I was just doom scrolling on my phone through TikTok and saw this. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. And, of course, made the little comment on the video, kind of mention, or, on the what do they call those? TikToks, talks, stream, whatever it is. But the video that's on there, I made the comment, this is really cool. And it just kind of went from there. And so, when I saw that you were doing the Kickstarter, I had to sign up for it. Now, speaking of, now you had actually, before we jump over to the Kickstarter, I want to ask, you had mentioned that based on the success of this, you may start looking into variations of the cube itself. I know that some of the comments on my video has been, color, going back and doing like some of the retro. Um, let's see if I have any here. I do
Old
not.
school blue,
Yeah, like the
and
old
white.
school blue and that kinda thing, which I always thought, I mean, that I think would be kinda fun to see, um, but also too, like, what about other designs? Like, do you have any plans in the works for example, like a big city, like an endless city, or even, terrain? To use a term from Minecraft, biomes, like hills and mountains and oceans.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it's kind of logical,
Mhm.
logical progression from all the different types of geomorphic tiles that you've probably seen, like city blocks for a modern campaign, um, or post-apocalyptic sort of setting, or um, village, medieval village generator or
Yeah,
something like that. So a
yeah,
lot of that I think is, yeah. So we're gonna look at doing a product line. I think prioritizing different settings, different genres, different styles. I think the possibilities are are pretty vast just in terms of this, a
yeah.
3x3. We've also looked at suppliers that could get us, 4x4s or 5x5s.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
Yeah, so, like, because this, a 3 by 3 is not difficult enough for me, so, yeah, let's do some 5 by 5s.
well, yeah, you'd never have to solve it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, well, I
in
mean,
terms
like you
of,
said, I mean, it is kind of already solved, but, because it has the numbers and the letters and numbers on there, I see that as a challenge, and so, I mean, I have to try to solve it that way.
well,
Um
that would keep you busy.
So I do want to go ahead and jump on over to the Kickstarter, show everybody there.
Okay.
Uh, so what we're at. So you're currently sitting at 1,400 backers, and so that folks can understand that I'm not actually shilling for this. I am a backer. I've pledged on the wholesaler level, so I've got multiple cubes coming to me when this is all said and done. But your Kickstarter was funded in 25 minutes. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, we were so surprised. So, the, Simeon, my boy, and I were down there, and when we launched, went over to Reddit, to post a few things, made sure that my TikTok and YouTube got out there, and then came back, and I mean, supporters, backers were already pouring in, and we just were floored. And my wife that night, it was before we launched. She's like, "Well, if you get 10 backers, I think that'd be good today." And I was like, "Man, well, 10, I might be a little disappointed in 10,
Yeah, yeah,
but I mean, but we do have a month, so
yeah.
um, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it is a unique item,
yeah,
I mean, and like I've pointed out, it it satisfies several itches, it scratches several. You have those, one, like I said, the like I'm gonna primarily use it for is, well, actually, I'm not gonna primarily use it for, it's gonna be done as a puzzle box to solve and put all the letters and numbers back in the correct order. But two, it's obviously it's a dungeon designer, it's something that you can use to create those everlasting endless dungeon crawls, hack and slash sessions. Um, so, I mean, for me, it was a no brainer. But you've got listed that there's over 461 quintillion possible configurations. Um, I've had a lot of folks asking, like, where does that number come from? And I love that you've actually listed that in the FAQ on the Kickstarter. But basically, guys, if y'all want to know, I mean, it's this is it right here. So he starts off with a 3 by 3 by 3 cube that has over 43 quintillion figurations. You could do the math on that if you want. I have, and I've looked. Of course, there's all kinds of websites out there that'll go into super deep depth about that math. But you can assume that on the surface of it, and then what throws this into an even crazier amount of math is that the center point Actually, we'll jump back to that in a second. But the center point here, if I can get focused on it, yeah, see, this is where technology wants to fail me. So anyway, center point here is, there we go. It can be oriented this way, this way, this way, or this way. And then, of course, you've got all your different possible permutations of that. So once you add that in, and then you've got, of course, 6 of those, and this is where I'll jump back and share the rest of the fact there. You get 1,024 valid center-oriented combinations. And then, of course, it goes through the final calculation showing, the 43 quintillion by 256 divided by 24 is 461. It's actually over 461 quintillion configurations. That's a lot of numbers. I mean, no, it's not infinite, but I think it was, if you plug the question into Google, how long would it take an average human to count to 461 quintillion? And I think it was something like 42 trillion years. So, guys, good luck trying to go through every permutation of the cube's, dungeon layouts. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's funny because when we, when we first started kind of posting to YouTube and things, I just put in billions of possible dungeons. I knew it was a lot more than that, but I thought, well, billions is enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But people, that wasn't good. A lot of comments were like, well, it's a lot more than 1 billion. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, we better put some math to this.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a big number. It's a big number. I like that you're also including the actual map tiles with this. And so, I mean, these are all the various different floor plans, but you're including, it's just over 260 map files?
Yeah, it's basically the 54 tiles times
yeah, 216. That's what it is. 216 PNG files. Yeah. So I mean, you get 10-inch by 10-inch tiles, and then 12-inch by 12-inch tiles,
or 20 by 20,
or 20. Yeah, sorry, 20 by 20. Yeah.
Now, yeah, and with and without grid. So
right, that's what doubles it. Yeah.
If you want to, lay a hex map over it or something like that,
right,
you can do that in VTT.
Kind of draw your own stuff on there. And then you've also got this included in along with this is you've got a solo play kind of game on how they could use. So he has everybody let y'all know that there's a solo rules with this that you can get or that will come with it that lets you play with just the cube and those solo rules. No dice needed, nothing else needed, no books, nothing. Just that one little set of rules. Once you've understood the rules, you kind of don't need them anymore, but it does have some neat stuff in there to reference, challenges, if you will.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've got a copy here, but that's one thing that I've really been, happy about the social media stuff and the comments that people leave and just some brilliant ideas and things. And this was actually, this kind of came about because a guy who's a friend of mine now up in Canada commented and said, hey, my wife said, it'd be great to be able to pull this out in the waiting room or something like that and just play a quick session or something. And so, that got my wheels turning. I didn't, I probably responded, that's a great idea or something, but it got my wheels turning for a couple of weeks. And then I reached back out to him and it's like, hey, I think I got something you might like if you want to help review it. So they've been, providing feedback and different things. And, same with you, and same with,
Yeah.
Otherwise Games made a
Right.
comment, and it's like, hey, you want to look at this, or tell me what you think about that, or, there's more ideas than I could ever, come up with solutions for. But, responded to all the comments, making sure you're engaged with your commenters and
Yeah.
taking their feedback into account, I think is important.
Yeah, and also you brought up Otherwise Games. I'm going to give them a shout out too. And if you guys are interested in checking out their review of it, I'll post a link there in the chat. But yeah, I mean, so Otherwise Games does for those of you that haven't seen the channel, he does like I don't want to say it's exclusive to solo games, but it's smaller, like games that kind of fit in your pocket or are easily tossed into your backpack and you can take on the go. Minimal tools required. And so, he's also working on some mechanics and games to use the cube with, or to use with the cube rather.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. He does
Yeah.
incredible things with like a piece of paper and
Yeah. Yeah, well, you recommended it on your Kickstarter, and I kinda went down that rabbit hole watching, several videos that night
it's
too.
wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, if we're talking about good ideas from backers,
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
this.
what's
I got
that?
this in the
Yeah.
email.
Yeah.
This is, and you made a comment on the Kickstarter,
Mhm.
and you had this, and you had these rules to me like the next day.
Oh,
This is,
I stayed up for a good 6 hours, just plugging away at that, like going, "Okay, so how mechanically could this work?"
oh man. So,
Yeah.
the gist of it is, your party's split up on different center tiles. It starts split up on different center tiles, and every time a player moves that, here, let me get an actual cube.
Yeah.
Like say you're starting here and you move south or something. When the player
Mhm.
does that, the dungeon
Yeah.
shifts. So now this player's down here, and who knows where the other players are. And so the goal is to regroup or get back together somehow. And meanwhile, there's monsters and other stuff coming at you.
Yeah.
So
It's a fun one. Yeah. I play tested it for about an hour and a half or so, and just kind of by myself, and assuming the role of me and five other players. And I don't know, it kind of worked, but easily could be okay, everybody, nobody else move. I'm gonna be the only one moving.
hmm,
Move east once, okay, that shifts, but everybody else is still in the center tile. Move north once, okay, everybody is still in the center tile. Now move west once, and okay, now I'm teamed up with one person. Okay, now, but if you opt not to move, then I decided, okay, well, now I got to throw in a mechanic like a chaos element, chaos factor. So if you choose not to move, it may still shift. Yeah. Anyway.
so one question.
Yeah.
No, I think, but the concept is sounds really, really fun. But one other question is, once you're grouped up, can the two players move in unison,
Yes.
not be split up?
Yeah. That would be ideal. Yeah. I mean, they could split up if they wanted to, but I mean, if the point of it is to regroup, why would you split the party at that point? I'm going to ask a couple of questions from the chat.
Okay.
D Watts asks that earlier it was mentioned about other layouts and map styles. What would some of the types be that you would want to see? Me personally, I'd love to see cityscapes. Like a big city that is just an ever changing. I would definitely use it as a sigil replacement. With Lady of Pain. That I think would be just a crazy, crazy map. Just an ever shifting. Uh, you've got a group of NPCs that go to work every day, and they oh yeah, Bob, he runs the blacksmith shop, but we haven't seen him in 12 years. Someone once saw him over there, but I mean, it's just due to the shifting nature of the city. Who knows where he's at now? He's a baker now because he just couldn't find his blacksmith shop anymore. I mean, that's the kind of story that I jump into, and I'm like, "Oh, that would be fun."
Oh man. All right, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, take notes. Um, you have also listed on here, and I think this is pretty cool, that there are no impossible stairways.
Yeah. So, that's one of the things that we kind of discovered as we were prototyping.
Mhm.
And, um, one thing is obviously, one simple solution would be all the tiles. Well, let's here. We can talk about printouts. Basically, all the tiles are at the same level on all the edges.
Mhm.
That's one possibility. But given the way the cube is, and there are certain tiles that are always connected,
Right.
you can go up in one tile and down in another, or whatever, or to where you can have kind of some interesting um, level changes, as long as you're kind of maintaining certain boundaries. Um, but yeah, that's that took us a while to figure out and get the kinks out. But
Something else that I've noticed too, and kind of playing with it, you can start like let's assume, like for example, uh, for me, so this is tile D5 right here.
mhm.
I could go east, west, whenever, north or south from this tile, and I think there are only 2 tiles on here that are dead end. Uh, they're both corner pieces, but you've got a couple that are like, and I'll see, yeah, like you can see this upper corner here, kind of like this one kind of has a little bit of a dead end to it. There is, but what makes that one unique is it still goes off the edge onto the next. Boy, see, I can't think fourth dimensionally and get this to turn the
Yeah,
right
I'm
way,
with you.
because the camera's also reversed, so I'm having to move it in a reverse manner. Um, but then you have neat things like this where you've got 2 tiles and you see here we go. Come on, focus. So you have this right here where this path winds around
Oh
itself,
wow.
and then if I shift it here, it still lines up.
Hmm.
I move it over here, it still lines up. So, I mean, you've got an endless maze. That's what's so fun about this is if you're actually, like, trying to solve this like a rat trapped in a maze, that's another unique way you could use this. Let's say, okay, I'm gonna start off in A5, the center point of the A, and my objective is to get to F5, center point of F. You can, without doing any dungeon encounters or anything, you could just simply use this as a maze and try to work your way around it. You get to a point where if there is a dead end, for example, like the room that okay, so for example, you hit this room right here with that has the 2 columns in it. Well, okay, so you just back up to right here, shift yourself, and now you've gone into where you can move back north into this tile and then east into this
Mm.
one. Well, okay, so that's a dead end. So now you back up to here and move it. I mean, so there's just all kinds
Mm.
of fun ways to use this cube.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
I had never seen that circular cavern. My boy was asking.
That's configuration 8,763,421.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Um, my boy was after we sent off the final design. He's like, I thought of something. What if 2 of the tiles line up and it just creates a loop that you can't get in or out of. We thought, well, I guess that's a possibility, but I'm not sure. It wouldn't really ruin anything. It's just a little something
I
you would never be able to reach.
I don't think that there is. I mean, because there's always going to be at least one exit off of the tile. So, I mean, even if you did loop into something, you're just looping it back around to the tile you came from, and there's an exit. I mean, how many dungeons have we played in where, it's been a hallway that's kind of looped in back around, or a corridor that's looped in back around itself? I mean, that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. The other important elements that I saw in the Kickstarter, I wanted to point out too, and you kind of mentioned this a little bit. This is it's printed using a durable UV cured resin ink. They're not stickers. Yeah, I've ruined many a Rubik's cubes when I was younger by just peeling the stickers off, and that's how I solved it. Not knowing that, like red had to be paired up with another color on this side.
Yeah.
When I pulled those stickers off, yeah, those colors were never, matching up again, and you'd never solve it at that point. But it is durable. I did a scratch test with it, and we kind of talked about, jokingly, kind of you'd have to throw it with all your might at the floor to get it to see any damage. And I did completely miss this portion about tension adjustment screws on all 6 sides. How can you show us again real quick? You kind of showed it earlier.
Yeah.
How do you go about, like, with that center piece, how do you pop that out to adjust it?
So it's really pretty easy. If you have a fingernail, you just kind of
I don't.
take it out. But like a small screwdriver or something would work too.
Okay.
But basically just a little Phillips head there. And if you want it, to spin tighter or looser, you just adjust.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yep. And you can do that on all sides. So you could get it, in the extremes, you could get it so tight that you can barely, twist
Right,
it, to
right.
so loose that it's just like almost falling apart.
You just do it like that and it shifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. And then I think this is impressive. This is something. So guys, I'll tell you right off the bat, this is unusual in this day and age to see, at least within the United States, free shipping with the Kickstarter. And I get that under the retailer, the 12 pack, I get that there's 20. I mean, because these things, it's going to add up. There's a weight involved. And I understand that, shipping internationally, there's, especially in this day and age with tariffs and all that crap, that you have, costs associated with it. But I don't think that these are unreasonable costs either. The boxes that you're shipping these in individually, they're about, what is it? A 5x5 box, 5x5x5,
4x4,
4x4. Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing that I wanted to point out was your use of AI. You are very explicit in stating that no AI tools are used in the design, mechanics, or artwork of the Evermorph Dungeon. All game design final product artwork are original human-created work. AI tools were used to generate the project thumbnail image for the Kickstarter page and to assist with copy editing, but that no AI-generated content is included in the physical product or digital files. Was that something like an important distinction that you wanted to point out? I mean, I guess it obviously it was.
Well, so, one of Kickstarter's rules is if you use AI at all, even on the
Right.
even on the page, you have to mention it. So originally, I just had one of my kind of crummy pictures up there, and one of my older boys was like, "Hey, you can drop that into ChatGPT and it'll Photoshop it for you." I don't know if you can scroll up to the top, that little image where it's in a dungeon or something, and then so I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Oh yeah, the initial thumbnail. I gotcha.
Yeah. So
I gotcha.
that was daily or whatever, photoshopped that into into a dungeon for me. So so I had to just make a disclaimer there on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's my son's dungeon design. Even the box, like he made it using Dungeon Scrawl. I mean, the whole thing is just made using Dungeon Scrawl, except for the barcode. I just pasted that on, but I mean, in Photoshop. But
so gaming with ADHD, I appreciate the super chat there. Do you have any plans for a spaceship version? Oh God. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The
yeah.
possibilities are endless for what you could do with this.
Yeah. Ooh, like, spaceship version. What about we use one of the, of course, I don't have it in front of me, but use one of those pyramids, one of those Rubik's Cube pyramids to make a spaceship or something. I don't know. But between the different types of cubes, the different orders of cubes,
Like this.
Yeah, like that. There's a manufacturer that can custom those.
Yeah. Again, I can't solve it. I've got one side and one layer. It's one level. It's this part that just eludes me. But
spaceship, yeah. Well, sci-fi, we've thought about for sure. Spaceship specifically, I'm putting it down.
Sci-fi would be really cool. I can imagine like asteroids. I don't know. See, I mean, this is the thing. Like I said, my love for puzzle cubes is out there. This is one that I refuse to actually try to solve, but I mean, it is one of the more unique ones that I have. But this one has definitely taken its place. I can promise you, whatever other designs you come up with, yeah, I mean, I'll you'll get my money. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm addicted to the puzzle cubes. It's something that I just think is really fun.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your support. Everybody's, support that takes the time to, throw ideas out and comments and support. It's just really been one of the very pleasant surprises of this whole thing.
Well, that's always been one of the focuses of my channel is, I like to obviously, Dungeons and Dragons is the core of what my channel is. That attracts a lot of the folks, but it's the and I don't when I say this, it's not meant to be derogatory, but when the smaller creator is out there and it's a really kick-ass product, those are the ones that I really hone in on. Those are the ones I really want to pay attention to because, they don't have the infinite backing of marketing that Hasbro has access to, and in my own little way, if I can help to contribute to that, that's my focus. That's always been my goal is to help push that third party creator and into products like this cube. I mean, this is just it's a fun, neat little item. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about it because it's fun. That's the whole part of it is it's just fun.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So what is you've got, let's see, 5 days. Yeah. 5 days left to go.
Yeah.
So tell me what are your next 5 days looking like? Like what's going on at your household right now?
So a lot yet to do, obviously. Really even after the campaign ends, it's really only half done. So we still got to get all these out. But, we're going to, toward the last 48 hours, we'll get reminders out to our original email list, get maybe some posts on Reddit and YouTube and those sorts of things, just to, give everybody a last chance to, to back it.
Yeah.
And then, once that ends, we get the survey out to everybody, which is where we collect your, your mailing addresses, and then we just, get them out as quickly as we can. There's like a 2-week delay between when the campaign ends and when we actually get the funds and different things. So even though May is like, the end of May is like 2 months from now, we still have to.
You got a long ways to go still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and things, I mean, with 5 days left on the Kickstarter itself, I know that fuse is it seems like it's going to be burning faster and faster and faster as we get there.
Yeah, the whole month has just flown by. It's crazy.
Yeah. And again, I want to remind everybody that Aaron is giving away 3 of these cubes. Again, there's a ticker running along the bottom, but I'll also post the link there. And I think we're going to start wrapping things up. So, and he's given away, the cubes on this during this live, but I want to open it up a touch to some of the folks in the comments in the chat. I guess that's what that's called. And if I can do this correctly, and Aaron, I apologize. I think it's going to cover. Yeah. I have yet to figure out how to do this so that it doesn't cover the you up.
I'm not a fantasy in my face on camera anyway. So
as well, it's got a lot of text on it now. Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys have any questions, I've got the ability to highlight it. I think I like somebody had just mentioned, this one, like a Star Trek type campaign taking place on a dormant board cube. I mean, I think you'd have some IP issues there, but I mean, hey, there's nothing to say that you couldn't have like a generic, generic sci-fi cube layout that, that's people would understand what it is. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
That could be fun. I mean, you almost could use this as is, just with a look, take your glasses off and it's just a touch blurry. You'd never know if it's fantasy or sci-fi. I mean, that's how you could do that.
That's a very good idea. I'm writing that one down.
Let's see. Davies says that they intend to color the walls in the Rubik color so they can solve it easier. Now, you mentioned that you had kind of scrawled on yours a little bit with like a Sharpie. Mm-hmm. How permanent was that?
It came off perfectly, but I only had it on for a couple hours. So
the longer it's on, the more harder it'll set. Yeah.
Dry erase works fine, except as soon as you touch it, it's all over your hands,
right,
and smudged.
Regular
like Crayola markers just don't seem to dry on it. So I've tried a whole bunch of different things. A nice alcohol wipe does fine on this surface. So, I mean, you're welcome to experiment.
Have you found any solvents that just totally destroy the UV inking on it yet? Like what not to use?
I did try acetone. So I was going back and forth on somebody on YouTube for a couple of different things that they wanted me to test. So I did test acetone, and I would not use acetone.
Okay.
I'm not saying it would destroy it immediately, but
it can bubble it up.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's nail polish remover.
Yeah.
For anybody that isn't familiar with that. But.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a favorite among like Magic the Gathering or other collectible card game enthusiasts that want to personalize and customize their own. They'll use acetone, especially on like foil cards, to wipe all of the inking off of it, leaving just the foil itself behind. And then they'll run that through and print, customized cards. Speaking of that, you had mentioned at one point of toying with the idea of putting together a file where you could where the end user could do their own customization of this using stickers. Is that
Yeah.
something still being worked on?
Yeah, actually, well, my idea was, provide, hold on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Provide all the, basically a layout. So if they want to print at any scale on sticker paper, they can do that. And then, cut it out and put it on maybe a bigger cube, or,
Gotcha.
whatever they want to do with it. But that will be in the file.
Okay.
And that's kind of an open question that folks might have. Like, how do I get the files? So I'm going to cover up the code on this, but basically in each box, you're going to get a QR code and a little code you can go and access the files. And in there, you'll get the solo rules are already on the website, but
I can show everybody here. So what you'll do is once you get your cube, you'll get a code, and then you'll just hit the website, which is, evermorphstudios.com. And then you'd hit the redeem button, and this is where you'd put in your code. And by the way, that's just a bogus fake code. So, I mean, you can try it, but it's not going to work.
So I meant to come back and double check that, but
and then there's the solo. You actually do provide the solo rules on there for free. You can download it as a PDF, so you can get that today. I mean, that's awesome. And then this is the second page of it that just shows the copyright stuff. But yeah, so I mean, you can download that, print it out, guys. I mean, it's fun. Let's see. Broham McNugs asks, how many themes or different designs / iterations did you have in the think tank while designing this?
So how many different designs? Well, so here's an interesting thing about early prototypes were just, your standard, sorry, there's a train going by. Hopefully you guys can't hear that, but just standard, it's in the other room, but I'm not going to bother going to grab it, but standard geomorphic tiles where you have, 2 entrances north, 2 entrances, east, west, south. And I've got one in there that's just got stickers on it that works real well. But when, as I started playing with it, I realized, well, since these two, say for instance, since these two are always connected, I could have whatever kind of connector I want between these. So it doesn't have to be 2 this way and 2 that way. And since these centers always line up to the sides, I don't need 2. I can do, 1, or in some cases, there's like no.
Right.
I needed to put our website on there so you don't get
yeah.
But there's, this is kind of an interesting feature that he put on where, you're kind of on different levels going from one tile to the other, and
which leads into the no impossible stairway.
And it opened up so much variety, I think, that you don't know what you're going to find if you keep going east, kind of.
Right.
Player.
Right. Yeah. It's the fact that it is virtually, I mean, yes, I understand that, you've got 461 quintillion, like we pointed out. I like that it's virtually endless. There's nobody on earth is going to, be able to do every permeation of this. And we've gone over just a few different ways on how you could use the cube in this live stream. But that's what I think is kind of fun about it is we've just come up with about 7 different unique ways to use it just in the past hour here. Chat has come up with several other ways, and then once you get, the ones that are the folks that are going to color theirs in the walls and the whatnot to have it mimic kind of, the other puzzle cubes. that's also another interesting way to use it. So that would be the challenge that I have for everybody in the chat, is to come up with, like, what are unique ways that you think you would use this cube?
If I could say one more thing about
Yeah.
that, going back to the previous question about, iterations or different things that we were thinking through. Some of our early prototypes, Simeon had put in, like, different decorations or, some chests or different features like that. And we decided, let's not do that. Let's not, try to dictate what this is gonna be.
Sure.
We think, the original concept is a dungeon generator, but we think there's, people are going to come up with their own creative ways to use it. So
Yeah, and I get that you don't want to, one, you don't want to limit yourself to this is all that it is, but two, you don't want to throw so many things out there that the original concept gets muddied down by all of the stuff that's out there. And I think that's smart too. Let the people playing with it, let them come up with, what they intend to use it for. Okay, so shifting a touch, whereabouts are we on the giveaway? What, I know some people are chomping at the bit here for that.
All right, let's see. How far into the stream are we?
We are about 1 hour into it.
Oh my goodness,
It doesn't seem like it. Well, it's like we've just pointed out. I mean, the month has gone by, the hour has gone by.
All right, so do we want to? Okay, so I'm seeing the responses. Do we want to give a few extra minutes, or let's see. Let's say I'm going to close down responses in about 30 seconds. So,
okay. So, all right. So real quick, let's tell you what, let me throw one more link out there. So again, guys, Aaron has been gracious enough to want to give away 3 of these. The giveaway entry is, I just posted the link to it. Of course, it's been running across the bottom of the ticker. He's giving it just a few more seconds. So if you haven't entered in yet, sorry.
Yep. All right. So I'm getting to it right now. Just give a, I don't see necessarily anybody doing it. Okay, here we go. All right, and I am now turning off responses.
And I'm hoping that you got enough responses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot out there. So thank you, guys. This is going to be fun for me anyway. All right, so I'm copying. Oops. I am going to copy your information. Paste it.
And if you want, there is a private chat that you can send to me here on the back side of things, and I can paste that into the chat, or you can paste it into the chat if you have it up and running.
Okay.
Although you may have to do that on the video side. Restream is the platform that I use for doing these interviews, these live streams, and I don't know if they've opened it up for guests to be able to type into it yet or not.
Okay. Oops. Visual values. All right. Here we go.
Another person mentions underwater themed cube.
Oh,
that could be fun.
Wow.
Castle, just an endless castle.
Okay. All right. Castle and underwater. Okay. All right. So I have randomized them and sorted high to low. So I'm going to call out the 3 winners here. So the first one is with the handle at TobyMMX. Winner number 1. The second winner is the handle Kenneth. The third winner is Magnetic Dave.
Magnetic Dave. And you'll reach out to those folks on your side of things.
Yes. I will send you guys an email probably right after the stream and get your mailing information, and then I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you this week, this next week.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, mine arrived. I've had so much fun playing with it. I mean, I can't wait for for the Kickstarter to complete. Honestly, you know what I'm really most looking forward to? I'm looking forward to all of the people that have pledged, that have backed it, and that are getting one. I'm looking forward to the wow factor once they actually get it and have started playing with it. I really want to see. I want to see what everybody's comes up with idea wise on how they're going to use it. And I've had a couple of comments on my video that, oh, it's just a novelty item, it'll wear off after a week. um i I have to greatly disagree with that. I mean, we do at my table at least once a month. We do a dungeon crawl, hack and slash dungeon crawl session. It's one where it's virtually zero prep on my side of things. I'm the DM. I don't ever get to play anymore. But having something like this as a tool at my table gives me the option of running that hack and slash endless dungeon week after, or month after month. So I mean, it's, for me, it's a lot more than a novelty. Um, I saw somebody came up with an idea I'm 100% going to use, in that the players are trapped in the dungeon, and when they get to the exit point, whatever it is that's determined on how the exit is, they discover that it's a lich that has this as a magic item sitting on their table, and that lich has been manipulating the dungeon the entire time. And I'm like, God, that's just brilliant. I'm 100% stealing that. So anybody that happens to be watching that's playing in my game, I mean, I just spoiled it. Sorry. But I'm 100% stealing it. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. That makes me very happy. I'm with you. I think, seeing what people come up with, seeing what we can do with other ideas that folks have. I would really like to have, a collection of, ways to play on the website.
Sure.
Starting with, maybe our solo rules and other folks' ways to play. Just kind of build a community around, hey, we used it this way. Or
Yeah. And I think that's a great idea. Like, have a fourth drop down, or a fourth menu there that takes you to, other ways to play. See, Davies asks, how well does the cube take model paints?
I have not tried. My boy has some model paints, so I could try that. I bet it would take it well, but it's hard to tell.
That almost could be a neat series on your channel, is because you do have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Yeah, I do. But you've seen my videos, probably. They're pretty low production value, but yeah, we will continue to post there with more updates as we go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that could be one of the ideas that you run with on there, is, like showing, this is what acetone does to it. Don't do that. This is what, crayon will do to it, and then smudge it off. Don't do that. This is what permanent marker can do to it if you leave it on for 2 hours, if you leave it on for 10 hours, that kind of thing.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to watch. Let's see. And then else? Yeah, Gaming with ADHD says that it is a novelty item, but what isn't outside dice books and character sheets? Novelty doesn't mean not useful. And yeah, I mean, you've got a point. It is novelty in that sense, but it is useful. At least for me, it's going to be very useful. Um, it's something, like I said, I can't wait to see what a lot of other people come up with on how to use it. Um, well, Aaron, we've said a lot. You know,
Yeah.
we've explored what it is. My intent was kind of get to know kind of the mind behind the cube itself. Um, can you assure us that if anybody, does go to scrambling it up and does get all of the tiles back in the proper order, the A through A1 through A9, B1 through B9, etc., can you assure us that it's not going to open a portal to hell?
Yeah, absolutely. I've done it. I've tested it.
That's
No
true. You've
portal.
said that you've solved it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah, no portals yet.
Yeah, no portals yet. Well, that's good. Is there any? I'm going to go ahead and start kind of wrapping things up, but I want to give you the final word. There. Is there anything else? I mean, obviously, we're here to kind of talk about the cube, the Kickstarter. I'll go ahead and pick back up. Okay. Technical issue there. Don't know what happened, but it just stated on my side that the stream unexpectedly ended. So hopefully it picked right back up to where we're supposed to go. What I was going to do is share the screen because obviously we're here for the Kickstarter itself, checking it out. And so if there's anybody that's wanting to check out the campaign itself, there. Is that there we go. This is the link to the Kickstarter itself. And, yeah, I highly recommend checking it out if it's something that you're interested in. The different pledge levels. And I meant to go over this earlier. I know I said that we were going to start wrapping things up. I meant to go over this earlier. But the different pledge levels, of course, everybody does hey, if you want to pledge without anything, here's, take $1.
Yeah, it's not even optional. I wouldn't have put it on there if it was optional.
Yeah. There is a retailer pack. You get a dozen of them, and it's 150. Plus the $20 for the shipping. Looks like you've got one left out of a 20 quantity there. The dungeon, if you're just wanting just the single one, and if you happen to live in the United States, it is free shipping, and they're $25. I mean, try to go buy a regular puzzle box for that price. I don't know. I think that's the other thing that I really like about it is I think that the value is there for what you get.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was, we went back and forth a lot on, do we do free shipping or, how do we make all this work? And, I landed on free shipping just because I hate paying shipping. But
yeah,
it seems like we've got a lot of comments that, hey, that's a fair deal. So
yeah.
I'm glad for that.
And then let's see, if you don't want the cube and you want just the maps, they've got the digital 54 pack for $10. But again, keep in mind, it is a total of 216 files. It's you get the 10 by 10 measurement and the 20 by 20 measurement that come with both grids or no grids. So if you like having your grids for your miniatures to move through, you've got the option of printing them out with that or without that. But you also are very specific to cite that they are VTT ready. So you can import them into, whatever VTT that you're actually playing in. And they're printable, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the 2-pack if you want one for you and a friend. And so that gives you, it's a $5, basically a $5, $5 off. And then, if you were one of the early birds, you got it for $23. But yeah, so that is the Evermorph Dungeon.
One more thing on that, Brian, is there's also add-on that we added based on a comment, but now you can add on, a third or fourth cube when you get a two pack for $20 a piece with no extra shipping. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
that gives you a little more,
Awesome.
a little more if you want more.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that is the mind behind the cube, guys. I mean, that's what the whole point of today was for me to try to get to kind of know Aaron a little bit more, explore what his ideas behind this was and where the future could potentially take us. Obviously, I know you want to get through the initial Kickstarter first, but you've definitely at least got me. That's going to be keep. I'll continue to hound you through email, and of course, I'll be checking out your website too from time to time, just with additional updates throughout the year, just to see what's next.
Awesome.
So
awesome, Brian.
But
thank you.
I want to give you the final word, and then we'll do my sign off. Do you have anything specific that you'd like to share with anybody?
I just appreciate all the support. I mean, obviously, this has gotten way bigger than we had ever dreamed. So, thank you for supporting our small little project. And
I was thrilled to, yeah. And Gray Wolf asks, is this something that's going to be available still after the Kickstarter is over?
that is the hope. Yes. Now, how long after is kind of up in the air still, but definitely we're going to see. It could be more Kickstarters in the future, or potentially selling direct from the website.
Right. Yeah, selling direct from the website. I get that. Because I mean, you're going to have some type of checkout system after the fact if that's the route that you end up going.
Yeah, and that's yet to be determined or yet to be figured out on our end. So
Right. Okay. Well, folks, I want to thank everybody for joining in. Aaron, I certainly want to thank you for coming in and sitting with me and dealing with my technical blunders here. And I look forward to seeing what's going to be next with the Evermorph Cube. It's
awesome.
It's a fun little gadget for me to play with, but it's also a useful tool. So
Awesome.
looking forward
Thanks
to
so much, Brian.
there. Well, thanks everybody for watching. And until next our paths cross, what's a good sign off here? Until next our paths cross, may you not get lost in an endless dungeon.